Outside of Gabriel Pec, one of the big things is Riqui Puig and whether he was going to go back to Europe. With his injury now, Kevin, he probably doesn't have the option to go back to Europe in the time frame that he maybe thought. The injury could end up keeping Riqui Puig in MLS as a MLS lifer. And if that's the case, he could be one of the greatest MLS players to ever play. I mean, really could if he sticks here for another 5-6 years. But you have to imagine that once he's able to prove himself that he comes back from the injury, and he has to do that, that perhaps there's one final chance for him to go to Europe at his age and go play somewhere. And then that's going to be it. Maybe he ends his career back in MLS after 2 or 3 years in Europe. But I think that window on Riqui Puig is closing really fast, which the injury could have altered the timeline of his career drastically. I think David Goss, and I don't know if it made the podcast that when we were doing it, but whether we were talking about it beforehand or during the podcast, I can never remember how it goes. But David and I were talking about just that the injury could alter things. Timing matters. Gabriel Pec doesn't go now. Maybe he goes in the summer. Maybe he goes in the next winter. Maybe something happens to where that none of that, he wants to stay in the United States and he never wants to go. All those things can change and move and make different things. But right now, with Gabriel Pec, I think the Galaxy are expecting him to at least be here for this first half of the window. And, we'll see what happens in the summertime. If he plays as well as he did last year, he's not going to stay in Major League Soccer for very much longer.